Okay, I want to go over how to graph y equals negative cosine of x, or the arc cosine. So what the first thing you have to realize is what is the definition of the arc cosine? And so this is really telling us that cosine of y equals x. So these two things say the same thing. So when we go to graph it and we make an xy chart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my y's, and I'm going to pick 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi, just like I would if I was graphing a regular trig function. Now, the one thing to be careful of course, is the arc cosine, arc sine, and arc tangent are very narrowly defined, so make sure you're picking within that definition. So you do need to make sure you realize that. And then I'm simply going to do this. So the cosine of 0 is 1. The cosine of pi over 4 is radical 2 over 2. This is 0. This is negative 2 over 2. And this is negative 1. So then when I go to graph it, I would graph it. So you can see out here to 1 and negative 1. So at 1, y is 0. At negative 1, it's up here at pi. X is 0, and it's pi over 2, because this is about 3.1, this is 1.6. So you're just kind of, you do kind of have to eyeball that, and you're going to get this general function. But you can, just like anything else, simply plug in the values. The thing to be careful of is that narrow domain. Now, I do have it graphed here on Desmos as well, so we can see that. You can see there. I come up to here, there's my negative 1 pi. I can come in here and I can look at these ones like, okay, the decimal makes sense. So you can look at it as a, well, here you're going to then, of course, if I asked you to give me graphing points, I would expect to see something that looked like this. I want to see this chart if you're writing it out. So make sure you understand how that works. When we're working these, what I find is it's very helpful for me to rewrite it like this before I make my XY chart, because then I can go, okay, I'm going to pick my Y's instead of my X's like I normally did, and then I can put in my regular functions and do it normally. Of course, you can do it reverse, but that a lot of times is harder for us to see.